Well, greetings and welcome to our devotion time. Today we're going to be talking about Noah's, here's the Hebrew word, korban olah. It means burnt offering. Noah and his family left the ark with a sense of tremendous awe. The first recorded act after getting the animals settled was to build an altar and dedicate their lives through a burnt offering to the Lord. This is the reason God had sent 7 pairs instead of just 2 of certain species. And those species Scripture described in Hebrews as Tor. They were given as a surrogate or a substitute for mankind. Now, don't think for a second that what Noah did at his altar on Mount Ararat was comparable to pagan animal sacrifice. To the pagan mind, the forces of the universe were beyond understanding or control. The sun, the moon, love, war, violence, storms, volcanoes, etc. They all had to be gods. And since those forces were potentially at least destructive, they were feared. And the pagans didn't want to be close to such forces. They wanted those forces to leave them alone. They pictured those forces as bloodthirsty predators who were going to destroy and eat something. So they decided it was better that animals die and get eaten by bloodthirsty ones than they. And they reasoned that if they gave these bloodthirsty monsters, their gods, enough animals, or in some cases human blood, their bellies would stay full and their bloodlust would stay satisfied, and the gods would just leave them alone to live in peace like a full lion, or a shark won't bother even easy prey when it's full. So they fed sacrificial animals to their gods and hoped for the best. It's kind of unpleasant business to say the least. That is not, however, the Hebraic concept underlying the spiritual act of korban, the Hebrew word for a burnt offering. Noah was not trying to appease the Lord, nor was he trying to get him to leave him alone like pagans do. What Noah was doing was the exact opposite. Noah was drawing near to the Lord and dedicating this new world in which he found himself to his covenant partner. Scriptures tell us Noah built an altar to the Holy One and took of every Tor animal and of every Tor bird and made korban olah on the altar. That's Genesis 8:20. The Hebraic phrase korban olah has been translated into English as burnt offering. And this sounds sterile and legal, and the true meaning of anything of this is anything but sterile. Olah means ascending, and korban is a root word meaning to approach. So a korban olah means to approach in order to ascend. The animal which was substituted for a man's desiring to express his total submission and longing to commune with God was burned completely on the altar by this substitutionary presentation, the man or for the man or for the community. And it expressed we're expressing our willingness to walk into the flames, to encounter the burning bush, the fiery furnace. Think about this, the Nazi incinerators or whatever, and to do so not out of a legalistic sense of duty, but out of a pure love for the Lord. So the korban olah is a threshold of commitment and dedication before anyone can fulfill the Lord's divine plan for his or her life. They must go through this step of commitment. They must gaze into the flames and surrender to them. This might be why when the Holy Spirit was given in Acts, there were tongues of fire above the disciples. But maybe you're asking how Noah, who lived long before Revelation to Moses, knew about this korban olah. Neither a burnt offering nor even an altar had been mentioned previously in Scriptures. It would appear from Scriptures that Noah introduced both of those concepts to humankind. That means he didn't learn the process from pagans, unlike Moses, who learned about altar worship from Jethro, priest of the pagan nation Midian. So how did Noah learn this process? I think it is because Noah had walked with the Lord. He didn't have to learn it. It was a natural outgrowth of his walk with God. Scriptures lead us to believe God actually preceded Noah in preparing an altar and burnt offering for. Let me quote some scriptures. He prepared a lamb slain before the foundations of the world, and so modeled the process for us. And see Revelation chapter 13, around verse 8 for that. Abraham would later come to understand this as he stood with a knife raised over Isaac. And scriptures say he looked up and saw a ram caught by horns in a thicket, but he was standing on top of Mount Moriah. How could a ram or a thicket be up from him? Abraham, like Noah, was given a glimpse of heaven and God's plan for our salvation. Well, I'm going to leave you with those thoughts today. Maybe go back and look at Genesis 8 and read this story for yourself, and look at this burnt offering that Noah offers God, and maybe we could see this as of Noah proclaiming, "I'm all in, God. I'm all yours. Just consume me." Matter of fact, us who are claiming the Methodist side of our denomination, our founder John Wesley talked about that quite often, about how God consumed him, that he was being burnt up as an offering to the Lord as he would go out and preach the gospel to so many. Well, you have a great week, and I pray God's blessings on you. Peace. Bye now.